Bouyon! That's like a sauce. Hey, Pepe!
Let the rhythm inspire you at the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival 2026. Pure Jazz. Tuesday.
On Saturday, May 2nd, get ready for Chrissy's Classic White Tea Party, an afternoon of elegance and tradition. It's only $75, all inclusive. Music by DJ Smallboy, DJ Bashi, and DJ Speedometer. Dress code all white. Yeah, it's an all white event. Fascinators and elegant headpieces recommended. For more info, call 347-528-0589 or 646-234-8790. Chrissy's Annual Tea Party presents an all-inclusive Classic White Tea Party. 3 p.m. Saturday, May 2nd. The venue, 650 Remsen Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11236. It's an all-inclusive event. Make sure you be there.
Mondador Jazz presents Calypso Cabaret on the Rooftop, Thursday, May 7 from 8 p.m. On stage, Calypso Monarchs TC Brown, Herb Black, Reigning King Desral, Linda Chocolate Berthia, Liam Happy Jabatiste, Junior Calypso runner-up Treasure, the return of the journalist and Super Sweet, and celebrating his Golden Jubilee, 50 years in Calypso, from Trinidad and Tobago, the Pink Panther, MC Izai Hall. Tickets cost $50 and are available at Steve's Barbershop. You pay more at the door. Park and ride from outside Central Library to Mondador Jazz, Calypso Cabaret, Thursday, May 7 from 8 p.m. on the Rooftop. The view is on the house. For more information, call 487-6614.
Life is a cabaret, old chum, so come to the cabaret.
The St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival 2026. The ultimate celebration. Let the rhythm inspire.
All the wonders in the world, St. Lucia's only meant for me. So much history to be told and so much more for eyes to see. The colors, feel the love, I can tell you all the way. Proud of it, proud of it, proud of it, proud of it. It don't matter where I voyage, it don't matter where I roam. Majestic becomes style.
Let the rhythm inspire you. Let the spirit move you at the St. Lucia.
DJ Shows and Momo present Sunrise to Summer. Sunrise to Summer. Most anticipated event for the summer. It goes down Saturday, June 27th at Legends Place, 495 East and 95th Street. Get ready for the Total Destruction crew. DJ Kev, Top of the Line Family, DJ Young G, and the birthday boy coming through. The Simpler X, live and direct out of Vinci. Tickets are only $20. You pay more at the door. With drinks on sale and food on the house. Saturday, June 27th, Sunrise to Summer. New York, get ready. This is gonna be a movie.
Let the rhythm inspire you. The St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival 2020.
Living on love, buying on time without somebody, nothing. Living on love, buying on time without somebody, nothing.
Get pain relief fast with Frances Rub.
When the days get tough, rub it. Having back pains, rub it. The dog not well, rub it. COVID on you, rub it. If you have 4AD, rub it for proper circulation. Rub it. Stroke have you on a side? Rub it. For all problems in life, rub it with Frances Rub. Or call 713-4162 or 489-3421. Nothing beats a good old Frances Rub. Located in the Vendors Arcade, booth 27B.
And now in VA4 on Girodi Street next to the post office.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Bouyon. Of course, I am your host, Peter D. Tonight or today, we're featuring a remarkable young lady. At only age 16, she's gifted, she's purpose-driven, and I am so happy that when we extended the invitation to her to be part of our Bouyon show, she gracefully accepted. Well, her parents, after speaking to her parents, they agreed for her to appear. But before I bring her on, I just want to say good night to everybody. I want to say welcome to Bouyon, welcome to Watch Radio NYC. Remember, this is an interactive show, so feel free to comment and let us know that you're viewing us, because if you don't, we wouldn't know. We'll just see the numbers and not know who is on. So please feel free to let us know where you're viewing us from and to say hi to this amazing young lady. So without further ado, let me introduce this young lady. Her name is Mea Emmanuel. I want to say good afternoon, well, good evening, and welcome to Bouyon.
I am so happy and grateful to be here tonight, and I'm very excited to get on this interview.
Great. I'm happy that you're here as well. I'm happy to have you on the show. You know, at age 16, you're already wearing so many hats, right? Author, artist, you're youth leader, medical student. So tell us, who exactly is Mea Emmanuel beyond all of those titles? Who are you?
Okay, well, beyond the titles, I would say I am honestly just a teenage girl trying to figure out life one step at a time. Yes, I am passionate about creating, helping people, and finding a way to make an impact. But with all of that, I am still human. And to be quite frank, I am a procrastinator, which surprises people, because from the outside, I look like I always have things under control or figured out, but that's not really the full picture.
So you are a procrastinator.
Yes. I am still trying to learn my balance and still learning discipline and how to manage all the things I care about and enjoy without overwhelming myself.
And that's important.
Yes, it is.
Let us just say, Mea, let's just say hi to persons who have joined us. I can see Naya's here. Good night to you. Sabina, I can see you. Sharice, my niece, I want to say, Chelsea, sorry, my niece, how are you? Good evening to you. I see you. Good evening to you. Mea, when did you realize creativity was part of your purpose?
Always been around me. So it's on both sides of my family, and they're creative in different ways, whether it's art, it's music, theater, fashion, building, or even just creating with their hands. So I grew up consistently seeing creativity as something natural and normal. So I think being surrounded by that, it really shaped how I think and how I express myself.
Okay.
And yes, and writing, I especially got from my mom. So seeing her creativity in that way, it made me realize how powerful storytelling can be, even in the simple forms.
So your mom is a writer?
Not necessarily. She just wrote a lot in primary school and secondary school.
Okay, cool. So what did you get? What side did you get from your dad? The artistic part, the drawing and so on?
Yes. Well, his side of the family has, as I said before, both sides have it. So it's a combination between both of them.
Nice. And let me ask you, what inspires you most as a young lady, a young creator from St. Lucia? What inspires you the most?
Being from St. Lucia, it inspires me in lots of ways, because it constantly reminds me that greatness isn't about where you come from, It's about what you choose to do with what you have. So yes, we're a small island, but we have so much culture, talent, and strength. So growing up here, you just see people with a lot of talent, and you just see people create incredible things, and with limited resources, that teaches you resilience and creativity in itself. So yes, our stories, our music, our art, even the way we connect as people, all of that, it just shapes me personally, and it makes me want to create work that reflects where I come from and carries that piece of Saint Lucia with it. And at the same time, it pushes me to show other young people, especially those from small communities, that your environment, it doesn't have to limit your vision. You can start small and just still dream big. And for me, being from St. Lucia as a part of my identity, it motivates me to make my work mean something. So not just for myself, but for the people coming after me.
I mean, you answer that like a true genius, and let me tell you, thank you for that. Let me just say, I am Mia's and Krista. I'm listening from the office on board the Norwegian Echo. I'm extremely proud. She's extremely proud of you. So thank you, Auntie, for listening and for chiming in a bit. You indicated in the beginning of our conversation that you're a procrastinator. Um, I'm a procrastinator as well, but I try my best to kind of get things done. But what being a procrastinator, normally you always want to leave something for a later time. What prompts you to kind of get on and get things done?
I would say the need for it, because I would see other young people, they need these, um, they look at the world, they are too gravitated toward the wrong things of the world. So I would say I want to be that person to create that platform for them to be in these the good things that can help them.
Thank you for that. Let's talk a little bit about your journey as a writer. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell us about your book, the book of short stories. What inspired you to write that book?
Well, that book, it was inspired by my mother. Again, as I said before, she would tell me about the stories from primary school, and hearing that, it just made me want to continue that part of her in my own way. So in a sense, the book became a dedication to her and the creativity she passed down to me. And the book itself is really centered around lessons and everyday experiences. So especially the kind that many Caribbean children can relate to. It reflects simple but important moments like being afraid to go to the dentist, being curious and discovering new things, or just learning life through ordinary situations. So I wanted it to feel familiar, almost like pieces of childhood that people could recognize in themselves. So it's not just about telling stories, it's about capturing the experiences that shape us while we're growing up.
I really like that. But again, what message do you hope that persons who are reading this book will take from it?
That biggest lessons come from the smallest moments. So yes, like I said before, the stories, they're based on childhood experiences like fear or curiosity or learning something new. So I wanted the book to show these simple moments that help shape who we become. So it also reflects a Caribbean upbringing in many ways. So yes, I hope readers, especially young readers, they can see themselves in it and they feel understood. And for the older readers, I hope it brings back memories and it reminds them of how those early lessons stayed with them.
Wow, so there's something for everyone, for the youth and for
Yes.
the adults. Great. That's great. You know, at this time, I mean, I'm hoping I'm not putting you on the spot here. Do you want to read a little something from your book of stories first? Do you mind?
I can.
Great. And then Bronx says, hi, Mia, Auntie. Natalie is here. So I want to say, wow, you got everybody on. Everybody says Sabina's a phenomenal young woman. Wow. Royalty on this program. Thank you so very much. Once again, persons, I just want to say for people viewing us, please feel free to share a comment. Please feel free to tell us where you're viewing from. And if you want to say hi to me, feel free to do so as well. I see quite a few persons on. So please say hello and say hi to me as well. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
So I can read a bit from a piece called The Olden Days. Okay, so Grace, how sweet the sound. The old hymn sung at every church service could be heard bellowing off tune from the river basin only a 5-minute walk from our home. This river spot was the sole laundry room, bathroom, and recreation room for all members of the community, both adults and children. Mommy, Ma Anna is already at the river and it's just daybreak, I said to my mom, as if everyone in the community could not hear Ma Anna singing. I hope she'll take our spot, I complained to my mother. I spent almost half an hour after school yesterday packing our stones. Child, the river does not belong to us, my mother stated. Now take that bucket over there and hurry up before more people get there first, she said, pointing to the rusted enamel bucket right next to the outdoor kitchen. Hurry up, girl, it's almost 6:30. She never needed to look at the clock to know exactly what time it was. Sometimes I felt like she had a hidden clock in her brain. Washing in the river so early on a Saturday morning was not my favorite thing at all, even though I met Emily, my classmate and my best friend, sometimes. I preferred to stay on my bed, a mattress made from stone bed sheets stuffed with old clothes, cloth, and sponge. Emily was the daughter of Miss Ava, a bank secretary who lived at the far end of the community, where there were fenced houses with pipes with running water and fancy fluorescent light bulbs hanging on the walls from the ceiling, which came on by just a flick of a switch. Some of these people even owned vehicles. Most times, I sat daydreaming about how I wished I lived in one of those homes and owned a nice car. Emily's mom and dad each owned a car, but sometimes would need to come to the river either to wash one of the cars or have a small family recreation. My envy for this life that Emily lived was very obvious, but my mom reassured me that regularly, with hard work and dedication, I could have what they have, if not more.
Wow. Thank you for that. And I mean, I may not be able to relate washing by the river, but I can relate to waking up and having to wash on a Saturday morning. You know, your mother teach you how to wash your undershirts and your underwear and so on. So I can definitely relate to that. I prefer to be resting in bed as opposed to doing household chores. So so definitely there's something for the adults as well, right? So thank you for that. A few persons have commented. We have Giovanni Jamari said, so proud of you, Mia. Louise Clovis said, such a well-spoken young lady, all the best with your creative endeavors. And we have 1726 thumbs up. And Sky Emmanuel, Mia's cousin here, I love seeing her shine. And and let me tell you, I'm not related to you in any way, but what I love to see people shine as well. I love to see people grow. I love to see that. And let me tell you, keep it up, young lady. Amazing. I don't even know you, and I am so proud of you. That is why I wanted to get you on this show, to show every young person that they can achieve whatever they put their mind to achieving. So thank you so very much. Let's talk a little bit about you said you're a procrastinator, and in my head I'm trying to think, how is it that she's a procrastinator? She have already started working on another book. I'm like, wow, this young lady is busy. So tell us a little bit, can you share anything about the new book that you're writing, that you're working on right now?
Well, the new book, it may not be for young readers, but more people my age and older. So yes, it's basically a teenage love. That's what it is.
It's a teenage love book. Okay, so it's a love story.
Yes.
All right. So one of the things I'm gonna ask, right? Once that book is completed, I'd love to get you on an interview again to talk about that book on the Bouyon Talk Show. Okay? So I'm reserving my spot early. Remember, Peter D is reserving his spot extremely early. We have Prince Lucien says, bravo Mia, the world is your oyster. Is that person English, man? You know, when I hear the world is your oyster, I think of the UK, a poet and also a singer. Are you a singer as well?
Yes, I am.
No. No, that part I didn't know. You kept that very secretive. No, or have you sung somewhere before? I don't know. I didn't know that you were a singer.
I haven't sung at any big events, but yes, I do sing.
What kind of, do you mind me asking, what kind of music do you sing? Anything?
Yes, mainly gospel, um, and pop, any genre.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. Wow. Wow. Let me. How does? Let me ask that question because I think that's important. How does writing help you express parts of yourself others may not always see?
Well, writing, just it helps me express myself in a way that I can't say right away. So it's just, how do I explain that?
I guess sometimes words are better for you. Writing it down as opposed to speaking it is better sometimes. Or
Yes, because
easier.
writing, it gives me time to slow down and really think about what I actually need to say. So sometimes in real life conversations, things just come out too fast and not exactly how I mean them. But so writing, it lets me pause and process my thoughts properly before putting them into words. It helps me be more intentional and honest with what I'm expressing.
Wow. Are you really 16 or you beyond that? Because listening to you just sounds so very mature and so like in touch with what you want to do and how you do things. You know, I sometimes wish a lot of us adults would actually stand back and think about what we want to say before we actually say it. And you know, it's amazing when I hear you say these things. Let's talk a little bit about ADHD, and you publicly or you announced that you're living with ADHD with sorry ADHD. What has the journey taught you about yourself? What has that journey taught you about yourself?
It has taught me a lot about patience and self-awareness. It really forced me to slow down and understand how my mind works instead of constantly trying to fight against it or compare myself to others. So I had to actually learn what works for me, even if it's different from what works from other people. So over time, it just showed me that challenges don't automatically define your limits. They often teach you how to adapt, how to adjust, and how to grow in ways you wouldn't have learned otherwise. So it's just been a journey of learning myself properly and not just trying to fix myself.
So you've taken something that a lot of us look at as a big problem, but for some reason I kind of get the feeling that you change that into a strength. That you've worked on it caused you to work on yourself to kind of see who you are, where you are, and what you need to do. Am I right in saying so? All right, cool. Cool. So let's talk. Oops, somebody just says, okay. So brilliant, Mia. So brilliant. Auntie is watching from St. Kitts. You have your Auntie Brown is in St. Kitts is watching. So I want to say thank you for that. Thank you so much. What would you say to young people navigating ADHD or the feeling that they misunderstood?
Well, I would tell them that you have to give yourself time and grace. You don't have everything figured out, and you definitely don't have to measure yourself against people who don't think or process things like you do. Understanding yourself, it takes time, and sometimes it can feel frustrating, but that doesn't mean you're behind. It just means that your journey is different. And honestly, being different, it is not a weakness. Once you start learning how your mind works and lean into it instead of fighting it, those differences can actually become one of your strongest qualities.
I'm listening to you there, and and maybe you need to have a talk show. Maybe you need to start talking to young people and advice. No, you laugh, but it's serious because I love what you're saying, because what you said makes so much sense. How you can take something that people look at as a challenge and make it into a strength, turn it into something. Somebody might say, well, that's a weakness, but you say, no, it's not. You could actually take that and turn it into a strength and make you a better person. So thank you for sharing that. That's a little advice I'll take as well, Mia. Okay, just letting you know. Sabina just says, love that Mia does not feel that she has to fix herself. And that's a very important point, that you do not have to fix yourself. You have to learn who you are and learn your strengths, learn your weaknesses, and work on every component or every aspect of yourself. And I love that. Memories of my days at the river. Your Auntie Brown said, memories of the days at the river. Let's talk about your artistry. Let's talk about your entrepreneurship, and let's talk about you winning the ECCB 40th anniversary stamp design competition. What did that recognition mean to you, and how did you feel when you emerged as the winner?
It meant a lot to me because it was my first competition that gave me recognition on a regional level. So that experience made everything feel a bit more real for me in terms of my creative journey. It gave me a real sense of accomplishment, and like something I created in my own space was able to reach beyond me and seen by a wider audience. So it was very encouraging, but also challenged me in a good way and raised my standards for myself. So in that moment, I honestly told myself that this could be my life and this could be something I can actually grow into and build on.
I love that, because when we put ourselves in these kind of situations, it allows us to grow, right? Because if we're always comfortable with what we're doing, then we don't grow. But when we put ourselves in a position where we're pushing ourselves forward, I think that allows for growth. So thank you, and I hope that a lot of young persons are listening to what you're saying, because I think that is so very important. Let's talk a little bit about Mia's art and how how you turn talent into a business, into generating revenue. So let's talk a little bit about that. And then what I want to do, Mia, is to kind of share some of your, let's see if we can pull some of those up. So whilst you're thinking of how you answer this question, let's kind of look at some of your work, all right?
Yes. Okay. Well, the company is actually Miat. It started in a very simple way for me to showcase my pieces in just one space. It wasn't even something I overthought at the beginning. It was just a platform for my art to exist outside of my sketchbooks and my walls, as you can see. But over time, I started getting feedback from people who connected with my work, and that just shifted everything for me. So I began to realize that people weren't just viewing it casually, they were interested and asking questions and actually wanting to own my pieces. And eventually, even businesses or companies, they started reaching out, wanting my paintings. And that's when I understood that what I started, it isn't just a personal creative outlet. It could actually grow into something more serious. And that's how Miat began to evolve into a real business.
Wow, thank you for that. So right now, let us share some of your work. I might ask you about what inspired some of your pieces, but let's kind of go through some of them. That's really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Thank you for that. So beautiful. What is the thought behind this drawing?
This one was actually one of my exam pieces. The theme for this was a book cover, an enchanted, as you see, the enchanted forest.
Right.
And that was just the way I depicted that theme. So yes, it was for my exam.
Thank you. So look at this one. And this one is all watermelon sundaes. Are we cooling out by the beach having some watermelon? Wow. And this one, tell me about this one.
One was also another one of my exam pieces. It's the theme for it was new beginnings, and the light shining would just show or depict life, and the darker colors would just to show that it's a new life beginning. So the light is shining on a dark canvas.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that. You know, it's 2026. We're about to approach, we're almost in May. We know April 30th is the grand opening of the St. Lucia Jazz Festival. We know it's going on from the 30th to, of course, the 11th of May. And we also know we have so many communities in St. Lucia having jazz. I think today is also Miko Jazz as well. So I think it may be, is it Vieux as well and Library? I think it may be as well, community jazz. So it's a really, really big thing. But tell us, I know you showcase your book and paintings at the Jazz Festival. What was that experience like for you? I think it was last week you did that, right? What was that experience like?
Yes, it was last week.
And how did it feel?
That experience, it was honestly incredible because it wasn't just about displaying my work, it was about being a space where so many artists of just real stature were present, and people had seen, they had heard about it or admired, but being considered one of those artists in the same environment and even just being in their presence, it just felt amazing and very grounding at the same time. I was able to showcase both my paintings and my book, and it felt different because it showed different parts of me in my identity, sorry, and they were just coming together in one space. And what made it even more special was just seeing the people genuinely engage with my work and asking questions and just connecting with it. And it reminded me that being in rooms like that isn't something to take lightly, and that I belong in spaces where creativity is valued and shared.
You know, great. Thank you for that. And Catherine just said to you, are the pieces for sale?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And what we will do, guys, is after the show, we will put the contact information. She'll send us a email or whatever contact, how you can purchase, if you're interested in purchasing a photo, how you can get your hands on a photo. You could always reach out to me as well, and I could put you in connection with her, in contact with her parents, so that you could transact that business, because we need to support our young artists. We need to support them, and we need to ensure that the creativity continues. I want to say, Kim Charles, I see you. Patsy, I see you. Ed Hill, I see you. Good day to you. And then Andrea, good night to you. I see you. Chelsea, good night to you. I see so many of you guys on. Colin, I see you. I want to say good night. She says, congratulations. Well done, Mia. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with let me put myself in that too. Thank you for spending time with me and myself this afternoon or this evening, enjoying a Bouyon talk show and enjoy speaking to such an elegant, such a well-spoken young lady. And, you know, it's always nice to be in the presence of persons who are very articulate and can explain themselves and just have that conversation. Mia, we're going to take a short commercial break. When I come back, I want to talk to you about creating a space for the youth. Talking about a little bit about jeunesse artistic, and let's talk a little bit about that when we come back. But for now, we're going to take a short commercial break. Persons, we ask you, as we take this break, we ask you to like and share the page, tell a friend to tell a friend that what radio is on is Peter D, and of course we have in the house our guest Mea Emmanuel as part of the Bouyon talk show. So thank you guys, thank you. We take a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Sit
wonders in the world, St. Lucia's only meant for me. So much history to be told and so much more for eyes to see. The colors feel the love, I can tell you all the way. Proud of it, proud of it, proud of it, proud of it. It don't matter where I voyage, it don't matter where I roam. Majestic becomes stand.
Let the rhythm inspire you.
Get pain relief fast with Frances Rub.
When the days get tough, rub it. Having back pains, rub it. The dog not well, rub it. COVID on you, rub it. If you have 4AD, rub it. For proper circulation, rub it. Stroke have you on a side, rub it. For all problems in life, rub it with Frances Rub. Or call 713-4162 or 489-3421. Nothing beats a good old Frances Rub. Located in the Vendors Arcade, booth 27B.
And now in VA4 on Girodi Street next to the post office.
Living on love, buying on time without somebody, nothing. Living on love, buying on time without somebody, nothing. Living on love, buying on time without somebody, nothing.
Mondador Jazz presents Calypso Cabaret on the Rooftop, Thursday, May 7 from 8 p.m. On stage, Calypso Monarchs TC Brown, Herb Black, Reigning King Desral, Linda Chocolate Berthia, Liam Happy Jabatiste, Junior Calypso runner-up Treasure, the return of the journalist and Super Sweet, and celebrating his golden jubilee, 50 years in Calypso, from Trinidad and Tobago, the Pink Panther, MC Izai Hall. Tickets cost $50 and are available at Steve's Barbershop. You pay more at the door. Park and ride from outside Central Library to Mondador Jazz, Calypso Cabaret, Thursday, May 7 from 8 p.m. on the rooftop. The view is on the house. For more information, call 487-6614.
Life is a cabaret, old chum. So come to the cabaret.
Let the rhythm inspire you at the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival 20.
On Saturday, May 2nd, get ready for Chrissy's Classic White Tea Party, an afternoon of elegance and tradition. It's on Saturday, May 2nd, get ready for Chrissy's.
Let the rhythm inspire you.
On Saturday, May 2nd, get ready for.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you so very much. Again, don't forget, this is, of course, the Bouyon Talk Show. And, of course, I am here with this amazing 16-year-old young lady, Mea Emmanuel. I want to say thank you for being on this show. Thank you for spending your hour with us. We appreciate it. And we have Bouyon. We have a few people who have commented. Vina Bouyon just says, Fanny says, great job, Mimi, supporting you all the way in Texas. And Miriam says, good night, Peter D. And the young lady, we have Ms. Brown. Of course, your answers at 16. Mia is so brilliant. I am beyond proud. And, you know, and of course, I share her sentiments. I'm not family or anything, but I love to see St. Lucians, young St. Lucians, do great things. And again, that is one of the reasons that I make sure that I try my best to get you on the show, because I think, you know, we need to showcase our talent, showcase our young people. That's important. Let's talk a little bit about jeunesse artistique. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. You know, tell us what inspired you to create this platform, and what's the reason behind it.
Well, I founded Jeunesse Artistique because I noticed, a pattern, not from my own experience, but in how society often treats young creatives in general. A lot of the time, creative talents aren't taken seriously at first, or they're dismissed as something extra or just a hobby, and it won't lead anywhere practical. And that mindset can be really discouraging, and especially for young people who are genuinely gifted but are still trying to find their voice, it can make creativity feel like something you have to justify instead of something that should naturally be supported. And a big part of this realization also came from my experience doing theater for CXC. Being in that space, it just showed me how much talent there is among young people, but also important support, how important support and collaboration really are. And I didn't come to this idea alone. I started this journey with my friends and peers from CXC and other friends who are also creatives in different areas. So working with them, it just made me see how powerful it is when young people come together and they share ideas and they actually build something instead of doing it in isolation.
All right, thank you so much for that. And Jeff Nolly says, sharing the love, supporting from Cayenne. So from Cayman, sorry. Yeah. So thank you so much for that. Let us just talk a little bit about what would you say to young creatives who feel overlooked or doesn't know where to start?
Well, I would tell them that um my computer is. Can you still hear me?
You're good now. Yeah, I think you're good now.
Okay, yes. I would tell them that the visibility and support, as I said before, those two things can change everything. So they need to start believing in themselves more. So when you need to find the support, when you are more supported, you are more likely to keep going, even when things get difficult. And without that, your potential will get lost or you'll get discouraged too early. So you need to find a support.
And I think that's extremely important. You need to find a support, and you know, one of the things I think that's really important as well is mentorship programs, like mentors, you know, like persons who are maybe in the arts and could help a young person who they've realized wants to start off in the art form, is to, you know, help and to guide them. And of course, you know, parents encouraging their children as well. I know sometimes parents say that have no money, why you want to do this or why you want to do that. But you know, I remember speaking to a few people in the creative industry, and they were saying that art does not only it's a lifelong thing. It teaches you, it shows you how to speak, how to behave, how to act, and gives you self-confidence and make you more aware of yourself and your surroundings and so on. So it's more like it helps you kind of with your development as well, as opposed to just something you just do to try to get money, but it really helps. Let's talk. You spoke about you spoke with your peers, and then you all came up with the idea of creating that space for young people to get involved in something. How can one become part of that platform? How can they access it?
Well, we are available on Facebook and Instagram, so you can contact us from anywhere, or you can. My information is everywhere, so you can contact me, as I am the president of the organization, and we'll be more than happy to invite you to come showcase, because we need more young people, and there's just, as much as I said before, there's so much talent that just needs to be seen.
Wow, thank you for that. And you indicated you're the president of that organization. I also know that you're the vice president of the Vieux-Fort North Youth and Sports Council. What issues affecting youth matters most to you?
One of the main things that I've noticed is that the access is there in many cases, whether it's education programs or any type of opportunities. But a lot of the young people, they are not fully engaging with what's available to them. Instead, their focus is more on distractions or things that don't really contribute to long-term growth. So for me, the issue is more about direction and mindset. It's about helping the young people realign their focus and understand the value of what's within their reach. And I also think guidance plays a big role in that, because sometimes it's not that they don't care, it's that they haven't been shown how to use what's in front of them or how it connects to their future. So my focus is really on encouragement and awareness, and helping the youth see the importance of making better use of the opportunities they have while still creating spaces where they can grow and learn and develop in a positive way.
I'm happy to hear that. And I'm guessing that the executive of the Viewfort North Youth and Sports Club or Council, they on board, and you guys have a vision of to how you will execute what your vision, or how you see, or how you want to see the youth in Viewfort. Does that only take into account the youth in the northern part of Viewfort, or just the entire Viewfort? How does that work?
Well, we have Viewfort North and Viewfort South, so Viewfort South has their own council.
Okay,
so
got
we
you.
are just in maintenance of Viewfort North.
All right, thank you for that. Gator said, "We love you, bro." I'm assuming referring to Jeff. I'm assuming, and Miriam just said, "Mea Emmanuel, well spoken, well spoken. Talk to the young generation." And let me tell you, and that is important. But I wanna talk about something to me that to me really is the most important aspect of who you are as a person. I think for me that is really key. Talk to us about how is it that faith, service, and leadership shape your path today? Because I think faith is so important. Believing in God is so important.
Well, yes. It's really about just fulfillment and alignment with who I am. It's not just what I achieve on paper. It's not the recognition or the titles or accomplishments. And for me, it's about knowing I stayed true to myself while building something meaningful with my life, even when things were difficult or uncertain. So faith, it's about being able to use my God-given gifts in a way that actually impacts other people, whether that's through art, writing, leadership, medicine. If what I do can make someone feel seen or supported or inspired in some way, that matters a lot to me.
Wow, thank you so much. Leona Joseph just said good night. Good night to you, Leona. Nens, I see you. I want to say good night to you. Andrea, good night. Chelsea, good night to you guys. Good night, good night. And thank you, everybody. Once again, I want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us on Bouyon. Don't forget your link to Watch Radio NYC. This is, of course, the Bouyon Talk Show, and, of course, it's PDD. And with me is the remarkable, amazing, talented young lady. And guys, you wouldn't believe she's only 16 years old, Mea Emmanuel. I want to say again, it is really a pleasure having you on this platform. It is really a pleasure having a conversation with you. And let me tell you, you're brilliant. You are brilliant. I want to talk a little bit about, when I was thinking about the interview, about the conversation, I was thinking about, and hear me thinking, medicine meets creativity. I was like, medicine meets creativity. So my question to you is, many people see science and art as separate words, right? They don't see the connection of those. But you're proving they can coexist, because we know that you're a medical student, and we know that you're a creative. So tell us, how are you getting these two things that appears to be totally isolated from each other? How do you have them coexisting in your life?
It's always been close to me because of how I grew up. My mom is a radiographer, so I spent a lot of time in the hospital environment at a young age. I was honestly just intrigued by everything. I saw the machines and how everything worked and how care was given to the patients. And I used to help a lot when I was there. So sometimes I would even sleep over at the hospital when my mom had her overnight shifts. So it became a very familiar space for me instead of something intimidating. So being around that environment, it just taught me a lot without me realizing it at the time. And I also learned a lot from my pediatrician, just observing how she interacted with children and families and how much patience and care goes into the job. So over time, that curiosity, it just grew into a real interest. And it became something that I could genuinely see myself pursuing, because it combines an early fascination with my desire to help people in a meaningful way.
Do you know what part of medicine you will eventually go into, or not yet?
Um, as of right now, I am still trying to figure it out.
Okay, I got you. You still have a lot of time. You still have a lot of time to do this. Um, let's look at how do you balance academics, entrepreneurship, arts, leadership, and still be grounded, still be this humble person, still be this attentive young lady, still be, someone that one can have a conversation with, and of course still be shy. How does all of that work?
Honestly, it's hard, and I still don't have it under control yet. And yet, it's something that I am constantly learning how to manage as I go. Balancing school on its own is already a lot. Then adding art and leadership, it can be really demanding. And there are days where everything just feels like it's pulling from me all at once, mentally and physically. But what helps is trying to stay organized and just be real with myself about what I can actually handle in one day. And I've had to learn that I can't pour 100% into everything at all the time. Sorry, and that's okay. So on some days school takes priority, some other days art or work will take priority, and I'm still figuring out how to find that balance without burning out. So yes, I'm learning as I go, and I try to stay grounded in why I started everything in the first place.
That's very important. You say you're trying to find that balance and not burn out. I think that's really, really important. And you have to give yourself space, give yourself time. And I think these are important things. Trishto says, proud of you, Maisie. Is that how she calls you? I don't know if I have it right. I hope
Yes.
I do. I hope I do. Miriam says, congrats on your journey. You are young and you are talented. And I want to say you are young and you are very talented. So I will echo the sentiments here. At age 16, you've already accomplished so much. What do you hope your legacy will be, or what do you hope to build as a legacy?
Yes, I've said it a lot before. I want it to be more about impact than anything else. For me, it's not just about what I achieve personally, but what I am able to contribute to other people while I am great. So I want to become someone who doesn't just focus on my own success, but actually created opportunities and open doors and made a space or platform for others to step into their own potential too. And if I can inspire even one young creative or student or child coming after me to believe in themselves just a little more or to make their path easier, then that would mean a lot more to me than just any recognition or any accomplishments. And I know how it feels to be figuring things out and trying to find your place. So if I can use my journey to help someone else feel less alone or more confident, that's important to me. And I also want everything I do, whether it's arts, leadership, or medicine, to always reflect in service in some way. I don't want to just exist in these places. I want to contribute meaningfully to them. And at the end of the day, I want people to remember that I use what I had to uplift others and leave things better than I found them.
Wow, spoken like a true leader. Spoken like a true leader. Where do you see yourself, say, 10 years from now, and what does success mean to you, or what does it look like to you?
See myself fully established in whatever field of medicine I decide to go into, and really growing into that space in a minute, but still being connected to my creative side. I don't see myself ever giving up art or writing because they've always been a big part of who I am. Instead, I see them just growing alongside my career in medicine on almost like two paths that balance each other out rather than competing. I also see myself expanding the platforms that I've already started, like things like the youth initiatives and creative spaces. I want them to reach more young people and actually create real opportunities for them to learn, to express themselves and to grow. And I've seen how much talent exists, and I just want to help create more structure and more support around it so it doesn't go unnoticed or underdeveloped. So at the end of the day, I just want to be in a place where I'm stable and grounded, but still growing, still learning, and still giving back. So success for me isn't just about where I end up professionally. It's about how many people I'm able to impact along the way.
Wow, thank you so much for that. It's about impact. And that's kind of one of the main words, the impact. And Joseph Evil said, always making up. I think she wanted to say us, always making us proud. Keep it up. Mimi's, I'm not, again, your household names, right? Your family. um, now that's the fun. Now comes to the fun part of our interview, right? Our little question, little thing. I want to ask you like a few questions, just quickly. Don't think about it too much. Author or painter first?
I would say painter.
Painter. One St. creative who inspires you?
Jonathan Laggett.
One word friends use to describe you?
Optimistic.
Favorite quote or scripture that guides you? Do you have one?
Off the top of my head, no, but I would say Psalms 23:4.
Psalms 24.
23:4.
20. Okay. If you could collaborate with any artist in the Caribbean, who would it be? Caribbean.
Well, I would look for it to be Jonathan Gladden.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Thank you for that. And guys, I want to say thank you everybody for joining us. I am so happy to have this amazing young lady. All good things must come to an end, and so must Bouyon. But before we end, of course, I want to give you the opportunity to address the audience. What message would you give to young people who feel they are too young or just can't make an impact because they're too young to make an impact? What message would you give to them today?
Okay, I would tell them that age is not a limit. You don't have to wait until you feel ready or older to start doing something meaningful. A lot of change actually begins with small steps or even simple ideas. And the courage to act on what you already have in front of you is great. And sometimes we think the impact has to look big or perfect from the start, but most of the time it starts quietly with consistency and intention. So your voice matters now, your ideas matters now, and what you have to offer is valid, even if you're still young and still figuring things out. Growth happens in the process, not after it. So instead of waiting for the right time, you start where you are and use what you have and trust that even small actions, they can grow into something much bigger over time.
Thank you, Mia. You sound like a true leader, a true champion. I want to say again, good night to everyone who joined us. Edna Hillnens, I see you watching, so good night to you. Lucretia, I can see you. Good night to you. Thank you so much. Josette, Miriam, everyone who have joined us, Leona, Sabina, everybody who's on here, Jeff, every single person. There's so many. They always say too numerous to mention, so I will not attempt to mention more names. I just want to say thank you so much. And of course, I need to mention Chelsea and Andrea. I want to say Andrea and I want to say good night to you as well. You're visiting from Barbados, so good night to you. Once again, I want to thank you, everybody. Thank you again for being part of our Bouyon Talk Show. My name is Peter D. Tonight, I was fortunate and privileged to have with me a young, talented lady called Mea Emmanuel. She's an author. She's a singer. I didn't get her to sing tonight. Maybe the next interview I'll get her to sing, right? She's a leader. Let me tell you, a business person. Let me tell you, she's absolutely amazing and so well-spoken. One thing I can say for a fact that your parents are proud of you. Your family, they're proud of you. Your friends are proud of you. Your community should be extremely proud of you. Thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you for not just thinking only about yourself, but about thinking of making an impact, thinking about young person, not just thinking about pushing yourself out, but also thinking about other persons. I think that speaks volume. It says who you are as a person. It speaks about your heart. So I think that's really, really important. And you know, you speak like a lady after my own heart. So thank you for that. It has been an absolute pleasure having you here. Again, I want to say to everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Do not forget Bouyon. And of course, Watch Radio will be in St. Lucia from July the 12th. Don't forget, we have this big breakfast fair happening on the 12th of July, and then that's happening in northern parts of the island. And on the Friday, the 17th of July, we have the event called Mawa, which is happening somewhere in Deriso, Side Viewfort there, that area. So I want to say to you guys, please feel to reach out and, you know, support Watch Radio, support us in a good way. Sabina Daniel just says, well done, Bouyon. We need more young people making an impact. Let me tell you, I totally agree. And I see, is that Nelly, I may be pronouncing your name wrong and I'm sorry, but Emmanuel, is it Nelly Emmanuel? Nali Emmanuel, we want to say thank you, says, good job, me. So again, young lady, I want to say great job. I want to say thank you so much. I want to say I will see you. Don't get off the live yet. I still want to say something to you, so stay backstage. But I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say pleasure having everybody on board tonight. Don't forget, next week, May 3rd, we have on Russell Lake is going to be on, of course, Watch Radio. So it's going to be, you know, I dubbed that show Watch Radio meets Ruth Tropics. You know, so it's going to be an interesting conversation with Russell Lake, where we'll talk a little bit about jazz and talk about old times, because that's a good friend of mine. So once again, don't forget, join that conversation. It's at 7 p.m. Sunday next week. It'll be Peter D and Russell Lake having a really nice conversation. Once again, Mia, thank you so very much for being on our Bouyon talk show. Thank you.
Let the rhythm inspire you at the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival 2026. Pure Jazz. Tuesday, May